Welcome to this short video on writing an abstract. We'll be looking at 3 tips around purpose, phrasing, and being concise. Let's begin by discussing the purpose of your abstract. An abstract summarises content and is useful for reports, conferences, publications, and promoting your ideas. Your abstract must include the who, what, when, where, why, and how. This means outlining who is conducting the research, what is the topic, when will the research be conducted, in what location, why the research is significant, and the methods that will be utilised. You also need to have a clear hypothesis or thesis statement, and if possible, the findings. You can vary the structure of your abstract, but generally you need to have one sentence for each of these. An opening that grabs your audience but doesn't dive straight into your argument, a problem identified, background information, a thesis statement or hypothesis which expresses your argument, the methods, an outline of what is to come, a claim of how your research fills a gap, and the main findings or outcome of the research. For a conference abstract, you may not yet have your findings, and that can be okay to exclude. In some science fields, they may have their hypothesis at the end and also ask for a quick summary of the results. So use this video as a guideline, but read lots of abstracts from your field to analyse their structure and phrasing. Now, to answer the question about how an abstract varies to the introduction. The abstract houses all the main content of your paper. While you may think that the introduction looks similar, there are some subtle differences. The abstract tends to be 150 to 300 words, while the introduction is longer. However, the abstract includes outcomes and the introduction doesn't. Make sure you vary your wording and always check the requirements. My final tip is being concise makes for a clearer abstract. Each sentence should make a specific point. Let's take a look at a humanities abstract. You can see there is an opening sentence that uses keywords. The problem is then identified and supported with background information and references. However, not all abstracts need to include references. A gap is identified. The orange section shows a detailed outline of what is to come, followed by the methods used. The findings here are quite simple, whereas a science-based abstract is usually more specific. This abstract ends with a central argument. You can use this as a checklist for your own abstract. Now, let's look at an abstract from the sciences. It begins with a background, which also identifies the gap, followed by aims, methods, detailed results, and finishes with a conclusion that includes a central argument. You may or may not need to include subheadings, so always check your style guides. So remember to match content to purpose, consider wording, and be direct. You can find more resources on our website.